paper and I've lined the inside, and I've also taken some mint green hunky-dory card and I've put that at the top. So this is going to be the start of my sort of wallpaper on the inside. Right, we're back here now with my Cricut because I need to cut out my door shape, and I have looked in my cartridges and I've looked at George because there's some really good basic shapes on George, and I've gone to page 103, which is L, and if you have a look here, we've got like this shape here. I'm going to cut that shape, and I'm going to cut that on hunky-dory card in the white, on the silk art card, and then I've got some sort of coppery coloured silk art card, just a little scrap that I had, and I'm going to use Fabulous Finds and cut what will look like some little hinges for the door. Okay, so first of all let's cut our actual door frame. Now the beauty of this is that we'll be able to use the inside part of the cut to slice up into our little, as it were, boards, door panels. So hopefully that will look quite good. Hopefully that will work. Okay, so making sure everything's at maximum. I'm going to put the speed at max as well. Now I want this at 8.5 inches to make sure that I've got enough width on this door frame. And it's the silhouette feature key, and it's the shift button. So if you have a look there, it's the shift, whoops, there we go, shift key, because it's up in the right hand corner. So we press shift and then the letter L. So we've got silhouette on, then shift, letter L, and then you can see in our little box, just here in our window, I mean, our little box. Okay, so let's press cut, fingers crossed. I found in the past that the hunky-dory cuts really nicely, so okay, so that looks good. So we're just going to take it up to the russet colour now. Actually, there's no point because it's going to unload the mat. Because with the Cricut Expression old one, I don't know about the new one, you have to switch it off when you change your cartridges. Very important. So I've switched my cartridges and I've reloaded the mat to the correct place, and we're in Fabulous Finds and we're on page 118, and the image that I want to cut is this one here. Now you can see how they fold it back to make the little hinge, but what I intend to do is cut out this piece here and then snip it in half, so I then get two, so I can use that one on the other side of the door that I'm making, and it will be reversed, so I don't have to fiddle around reversing the image or anything like that. I've got it done for me straight away. So then I only have to cut two for getting 4 elements, so that's fabulous. So we're going to cut that, and it is this one here. There's no shifts or anything or feature keys on this one, so it's just that one, and we want it twice. And we also want it at 3/4 of an inch, I think. Should do the trick. So right down. There we go. So let's... And then unload the mat. And we've got our 2 little hinges cut and our frame, which you can't see very well on there, and what we'll do is use the inside of the frame to make our door panel as well. Okay, so here are our pieces now off the mat, and as you can see from this piece, this is going to be our door frame, and we don't need this bottom half or bottom third of it, so we will be cutting that off. But before we get to that, oh, and sorry, and also this piece we're going to use, and we're going to slice it up to make like the panels on the door. But before we do all of that, we're going to put that all to one side for a minute, and we're going to put the pieces through our embossing folder and through the distressed stripes to give it a little bit of the wood look. There we go. Pleased with that. And that's my inside piece as well, which I was actually going to cut up, but now I've done that, I don't think it needs it. It looks great just as it is, so that's even better. That makes it a bit easier. And then I just did it again at the bottom, so that we have like a band across there, which will be kind of like the middle of the door. Well, not quite, kind of a lower part of the door. So we'll see, we may not need that because it just gives me options, so that when it goes on the card I can have it a bit taller if I want to. So we'll see what we do. Okay, so we had a slight change of plan. I decided that I didn't like my actual door frame being distressed striped with the embossing folder, so I recut it and going to do it plain. And then while I was there, I cut the frame for the inside part of the door, and obviously I had another door which I've now embossed. So what I did with this one, I'm just going to show you now. I haven't stuck it all together yet, but basically I took my embossed piece here and I cut it along the line, the bottom line here. So we've got my door and I'm going to cut it along this line here. First of all, so we take that off, and that gives us my door like so. But then I took this piece and I cut it up to the first line here, which I think is about 1 centimetre, and I worked out 4 pieces by doing it like that. Hopefully it'll do the same this time. And then we use those. It looks like it's not going to be quite the same because it sort of went off the page a bit. So it looks like we're going to have 3 pieces on this occasion, but we'll get another piece. I've got some scrap from the door frame, so we'll use a piece from there. So I've got those 3 pieces, and then I'll get another piece in a minute. But what I've done basically is I've made it to be kind of like the panels that you have going across the door when you have those old doors. So we're going to stick that down, make that like that. So that's what those pieces are going to be for. So I'm going to cut another piece off and I'm going to use that for my inside door as well. Okay, so I've put these together now. As you can see, hopefully, that I chalked the card slightly so that it gave it a little bit more depth and sort of reality and stuff. So that's all been chalked up, just using a bit of black chalk, believe it or not, and it chalked up really nicely. And obviously I will do the same with my frame, but I haven't done that yet. What I am doing is I've put the little bars on some glue gel so that it's slightly popped up, so we're just letting that set right now. And then I'm going to pop the little handles through, make sure I'm doing it on the right side, because it's got a mirror image for the inside door, and then we'll go from there. So while these two are setting a little, I'm going to put them to one side, and I'm going to sort out my frames. Now I can't cut these to size because I want to be absolutely sure that they're going to fit, so I'm not going to cut the length off the bottom here. I will just chop this bit off because I don't need that, but I'm not going to cut them down any, so the bits are going to hang off the bottom, and I'll chop those to the right length when I've stuck it all down, because I think that will be safer. But what I can do is just prep up using my chalk. So I'm just going to take my chalks, which unfortunately a short while ago fell in my cupboard, and still 2 are somewhere in the cupboard. I have no idea how I can lose them in there, but they still seem to be there. So anyway, making sure it's the right way round, and then I'm just going to chalk all around these edges, and this just gives it a sort of more realistic look, I think, and just a bit more shadow, and rather than just being flat. Okay, and I found with the hunky dory, unlike a lot of the card, when you wipe a lot of card when you've chalked, it ends up it's not staying on, but this is staying on quite well, so that's quite cool. So we'll put that to one side and then we'll do this piece. There we go. Alright, so now I need to work out, and I'm just going to be careful. Oh, actually, before I do my working out, I will just cut these in half and poke these little pieces out. So these are my hinges for my door, like so. And the last one. So we just popped all the little holes out, cut those in half, so we've got our 4 hinges, and those are to go on the door. But before I do that, I need to just work out what way round these doors are with regard to handles and things, because my brain just can't do that right now. So this door is going to be there. So if the handle's that side on that door, it would be this side here. So I think we're going to reverse it. We're going to put the handle here, which means the handle will be there on this door. Okay, so let's mark these up with just a little pen or something, just so I remember. So that's my handle for that side, and that's my handle for the other side, hopefully. Yes. Okay, so that's just to remind me, and then I need to pierce my holes in those so that I can put a little brad through to be my door handle. One. I'm just being a little cautious, obviously, because it's still not 100% set. Okay, and just use I've just used a piercing mat underneath so that I don't go through my table. Okay, so let's just get some brads. Okay, I think these would be quite nice. I've got some little like white brads here, which I think would be really cool. Or should I use the black ones? Decisions. I think in the black would look better. Don't know why. Ouch. My finger's so sore, my thumb, where I cut it with the scissors. Again, I don't know which video we're at because I tend to edit them at a different order to when I actually make them, and so I did say to you in one of my videos, I think, but that I managed to decided to clean my scissors when they were open like that, and took the top of my thumb and also my nail, and it's really sore. The nail's the bit that's sore now. Okay, so there's my little door handle in that one, so that's going to be my inside door, like so. Yep. And I think, again, just to make it easier, because it's so easy to forget what you've planned, I'm just going to write on the back of it inside, so I remember what I've been thinking, because I'm having to leave things to set and stuff, so you know, by the time I come back I forget which way around I decided, and then I end up putting it on wrong, and you think, oh darn, I wished I did it the other way now. Okay, so let's, oops. And then the second one, just be a bit careful, just move that. There we go. Okay, so there's my 2 doors with their handles. So now I just want to have a think about my hinges, because I can't think where they would be, whether they'd be on the door or would they be on, I guess they'd be on the door, wouldn't they? They wouldn't be on the frame. That would be daft, wouldn't it? Yeah, of course it's on the door. Okay, I'm still not convinced about this frame yet. I'm still deciding whether I think it's the best option. Now I'm using a bit of the glue gel to stick it down because of the embossing. It's just a bit easier, well, safer more than anything, to make sure it stays stuck because of all the different layers. you know, the different levels. Can't speak. There we go. That's better. Goes on a little bit easier because I've got a bit more space. I wonder if I could move that down just a wee bit. There we go. That's better. There we go. So there's our door with its hinges, and I am still sort of contemplating whether I want... That's my inside door, but anyway, I'm still contemplating whether I really need the frame on there or not for the door. I think it kind of gives it a bit more grandeur. Yeah, I think I do. So here's our two completed doors. I think they look really cool. I'm really pleased with those. And by using this embossing plate, I was planning originally to sort of cut the pieces up and stick them down onto one of these kind of shapes to get that kind of slatted look. So having that embossed look, that embossing folder, has really made my life a lot easier in that regard. So I'm pleased with those. So I'm going to now start to put that onto the actual card itself. Now I'm only going to do the front one because otherwise obviously it's all going to start moving around. So looking at the back of the card, you see I needed to check, and that says inside, so I know that's the wrong one. So I'm going to pick this one up and I'm going to start to position that where I want that to be. Now I need to put my frame on because I'm thinking, you see, what I want to do is kind of match it in between those two blue stripes. So I need to put the frame in place. Now let's think about this. Yes, that's right. So I was just thinking, does the skirting go there? But no, the door goes to the floor, obviously, unless they've got a step, which is unlikely. Okay, so I think that looks good. So now I need my glue gel. I just need to slightly bend that, that's better. Okay, and I think I'm probably going to have to top this glue gel up because I don't think there's enough, but we might be lucky. No. Glue gel all topped up. So try again. Make sure there's enough on there so it gives the adhesion because of the embossing again. And being careful with the front because that's not really set yet. Okay, now again I've got to look at my positioning of the door with regard to my frame. Liking that. Let's make sure. Yep. Okay, so now we're here. We will put down our door frame as well. Now that's going to be... now would it be flatter or higher up? I think I'm going to do it slightly further back. I don't suppose it really matters, but I really want more emphasis on the door. Hopefully we've gone far enough with the glue gel. I'm sure I've gone more than enough actually. Messing everything up, and I think that's not bad, you know. Okay, pretty pleased with that. Particularly that blob there. Okay, now I'm just gonna clean off any bits that this is a lovely thing about the hunky dory as well, because it's silk art. You can, if you don't overdo it, you can just run a damp cloth over it to get any excess glue off, which is really good. Okay, and then we're just going to lightly turn it over and snip off these excess pieces. Like so. And as I say, I'm not going to do the inside one at the moment because I need to be able to allow that to sit flat and dry. Okay, so really pleased with that. So we're going to put the other door and the frame over to one side for the moment. That will start to dry anyway while that one's setting over here. So now the next thing obviously on the front of the card is we need a skirting board and we need our cornicing. I think on this one I haven't really decided whether I'm going to do like a picture rail or whether to actually have a picture. Now the reason I said about a picture is because I've got this gorgeous brass frame and I thought that that would be really funky to put like a picture as if it's in the hallway and to find something to print out and put on there, or you know, anything. So I think I might do that. I think that would be a bit of fun. And obviously I've got to put on the front here, which I've got to sort out as well, is the little sign that I should have put a hole through actually, but anyway, not to worry, to say baby's room. So we got to do that as well. So a few little odds and ends to do on the front. So let's get cracking on with those bits now.